All right, on to page 2. 11 through 16 says solve the inequality. Inequalities was unit 2. Okay, so basically it's the same as solving equations, except you have this inequality symbol in there. So I'm going to get x by itself by subtracting 8. I get x is greater than negative 3 minus 8 is negative 11. Graphing that, that's on a number line. So negative 11 is left of 0. Open circle, and that is because there's no equal to, which means negative 11 is not a solution, so I leave it open. And I want the numbers bigger than negative 11, so that would be this way. Okay. Number 2, I'm going to distribute the negative 3, or not number 2, number 12. Negative 15 is greater than or equal to negative 3x minus 12. Add 12 to both sides. So I get negative 3 is greater than or equal to negative 3x. Divide by negative 3, and as soon as you divide by negative 3, it flips the sign. And negative 3 divided by negative 3 is 1. So I could write my answer like that, but I like to put my answer or my variable on the left, which is fine as long as it's eating the correct thing. So it's eating the x. Graphing that. 1 is to the right. This one has an equal to, so the filled in circle, which means 1 is a solution, and I want the numbers bigger than 1. So again, to the right. Variable on both sides here, no big deal. I just want to get my x's together. I'm going to subtract 5x. So I get negative 7 is less than 3x minus 19. Add 19 to both sides. I get negative 7 plus 19 is 12. Divide by 3, I get 4 is less than x. Again, I like to have my variable on the left, so I'm going to switch it. X is greater than 4. 4 is to the right. Open circle. Numbers bigger than 4. Again, to the right. 14 is a compound inequality. There's 2 inequality symbols. I want to get x by itself in the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 7 from all 3 sides. So I'm going to have negative 12 is less than or equal to 3x, which is less than 33. And then I'm going to divide everything by 3. And I'm going to get negative 4 is less than or equal to x, which is less than 11. Now this graph, my smaller number, which is negative 4, is going to go first. Larger number is 11. It's a closed circle at negative 4, and it's an open circle at 11. And then the solutions are between those 2 numbers. So I'm going to shade between those 2 numbers. Okay, number 15, distributing a fraction. Multiply 2/3 times 9x. That's 2 times 9x is 18x. Divided by 3 is 6x. 2 times negative 15 is negative 30. Divided by 3 is negative 10. We'll subtract 2x. I get 4x minus 10 is greater than or equal to 14. Add 10, I get 4x is greater than or equal to 24. And x is greater than or equal to 6. Closed circle, numbers bigger than 6. Okay. And the last one is an OR inequality. It's a compound as well. You just solve both of them and then put them on the line. Okay. So this one has the fraction already by itself. I'm going to multiply by 5 on both sides. So I get 2x minus 3 is greater than 5. Add 3, I'm going to get 2x is greater than 8. Divide by 2, I'm going to get x is greater than 4. Do the other one. I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. So that's negative 3 over 2x is greater than 9. I'm going to multiply by 2. So I'm going to have negative 3x is greater than 18. Divide by negative 3, I'm going to get x is less than negative 6. Let's flip the sign because I'm dividing by a negative 3. So now I'm going to write my smaller answer first. X is less than negative 6. Or, and I need the word or in there, x is greater than 4. Now to graph this, the reason I put the smaller number first is because that's what's going to go first on my number line. -6 and +4. Open and open, they're both open circles. X is less than -6, so the solutions are less than -6 or bigger than 4. And that's inequalities there. 17 and 18, find the x and y intercept. This is unit 4. Specifically, lesson 6. Okay. I can show you the quick way, but I'm going to explain why. So if I'm finding the x-intercept, that means y equals 0. So I'm putting 0 in for y. So that's 9x minus 2 times 0 equals 36. Well, 2 times 0 is 0. 9x minus 0 is just 9x. 9x equals 36. Divide by 9, you get the x-intercept is 4. Okay. The y-intercept, I'll do the y-intercept quicker. Y-intercept means x equals 0, so I'm basically going to cover up the x. And what I'm left with is negative 2y equals 36. Divided by negative 2, the y-intercept is negative 18. Now, to do that, you need to have this in standard form. Number 18 is not in standard form. I'm going to move 5x over here by adding it. So then I'll have 5x plus y plus 15 equals 0. But then I'm going to move 15 to the other side. So now I have 5x plus y equals negative 15. The x-intercept, cover up the y. I see 5x equals negative 15, so the x-intercept is negative 3. The y-intercept, cover up the x, you get y equals negative 15, so there's the y-intercept. Okay, 19 and 20, write a system of equations and solve. This is unit 5, specifically lesson 4. The sum of two numbers is 65. Sum means add, and we don't know either number, so here's my equation. X plus y equals 65. Their difference is 25. Okay, so that means when I subtract the two numbers, so x minus y equals 25. I'm going to do elimination to solve this system. So I'm going to add the two equations. It's already ready to go, because when I add them, x plus x is 2x. Y plus negative y cancels. 65 plus 25 is 90. Divided by 2, I get x equals 45. So that's one of my numbers. The other number, plug it in. I'm going to go 45 plus y equals 65. Subtract 45, I get y equals 20. 45 and 20 are my two answers, are my two numbers. Okay, number 20. Ross bought a bouquet of flowers for Janet for Valentine's Day. The roses cost $1.25 each, and tulips cost 80 cents each. Ross's bouquet cost $14.70 total. The number of tulips he bought was 3 less than double the number of roses. How many of each flower did Ross buy? So I'm going to write the equation that relates the costs. So R is going to be the number of roses, and T is going to be the number of tulips. So a rose cost $1.25 plus how much a tulip cost, 80 cents per tulip, and that adds up to $14.70. Okay? The number of tulips he bought was, or is, the number of tulips is T, is equals 3 less than double the number of roses. Remember, when you see less than, you flip the order, so it's actually 2R minus 3. I would use substitution on this one. I'm going to put that in for T. So 125R plus 0.80 times 2R minus 3 equals 1470. Distribute the 0.8. So 1.25R plus 1.6R minus 2.4. So just to make sure, 0.8 times 2, yep, and 0.8 times negative 3, we have 2.4. I'm going to combine my R's here. 1.25 plus 1.6 is 2.85 R minus 2.4 equals 14.7. I'm going to add the 2.4. 2.4 plus 14.7. Okay, so I'll go over here. 285R equals 1710. Divide by 285. It's 6. So R equals 6. So he bought 6 roses. How many tulips did he buy? I'm going to use the second equation. Much easier. Put 6 in for R. So that's 12 minus 3. That would be 9 tulips. And that is the end of page 2.